thought I'd show a little bit of this single track over the rock. It's makes for bouncy riding. It's not too bad. Coming up it is hard work. I came up, I'm going down now, but coming up it is yeah, it makes me work, sweat like a dog. Going down is bumpy. Some of the turns are fairly sharp, but generally speaking, I managed to weave my way through fairly well. No doubt you'll see from the footage that I'm all over the show, like a cut snake. Whoop, bit like that. This stuff here is the early days of gravel, prior to it being eroded into pea gravel. So I'm thinking in a couple of million years, the next time I do the track, this will just be nice and smooth pea gravel along here, which will be very pleasant. I've only got to wait, as I say, a couple of million years. They did a nice clearing through here. Moved a lot of the big rocks, as you can see. Considering the length of the bike, it's actually very manoeuvrable right down to slow speeds. Pretty impressed by it from that point of view. Very sure-footed. So just rolling into Donnybrook, which is super fab. Looking for a health food store that's disguised as a bakery. That's the first order of business. I've done 44.6 k's and the time is 11:50. So I'm pretty happy with that. Can't complain. City centre. She looked a bit blank when I said the city centre. Town centre. Then she twigged. There's a bakery. That'll be disguised. That's in disguise as a health food store, that bakery. So that's where we're going to go. It is, what is it, Wednesday the 17th of October. So we're on the road at 8:15 this morning and we're heading towards Collie. We're just coming out of Buoyantup now, which was an easy little ride. We just used the trail is on the road. And we're going to go see if we can make it through to the hut today, which will be possibly a bit of a tough gig later on today, but give it a bash. And it's a beautiful day. The ride through to Buoyantup was very pleasant. Only two little hills, which was super fab. And yeah, all is good. If you have a look here, we can see a kangaroo on a seal.
Oh no, from there.
Oops. Kangaroo on a seal. That must be the Australian Antarctic symbol, I think. This is the locality of Ferguson, and it's a really pretty area. It's very nice. Be interesting to know what it would be like in the summertime. Certainly very pleasant now. It's Thursday the 18th. We were on the road at 8:30. We rode together through to Honeymoon Pool, and I then turned onto the Honeymoon Pool Road, whatever it's called. Whew. And Anthony is going through and doing the switchbacks. I've done them before, so I'm not that interested in them. Work my ass off getting up them. And the trail crosses this road up here. So I said to Anthony, if I don't see his tracks, I'll sit around and wait for a while. If I do see his tracks, I'll keep going. I got a phone call, not yesterday, the day before, I don't know if I mentioned it, for an offer of work up in Perth on a little gas project. So I thought about it yesterday, and I've decided that I will take that. This is a nice area, this Honeymoon Pool area. I'm pleased to see they still allow camping in here. I think at one stage they were trying to cut it out. The black cockatoos sit in the trees eating the honky nuts off the gum trees, or whatever they call them, and when they chew on them, they must get the seeds out of them, and then they drop them. The trees are fairly tall, so I reckon they'd have reached terminal velocity by the time they're getting close to me. They'd be humming along. I thought, I'll come off the road and ride this last little bit through to the highway. However, I didn't bargain on getting another set of switchbacks. It's pretty hard yakka, but the beauty of it is, it's the beginning of the day. Yep, yep. So, too steep for me to ride, but I can push them, so that's not so bad. I made it to the top, took me 30 minutes, and as I got up here, the weather's closing in, the rain is about to hit us, so I've put my wet weather gear on. I'm going to go and hide behind a tree now. I don't know if you could hear that. That was the wind is really picking up, and the rain's going to come in from over this way here, which is, yes, God knows what direction. I've no idea after coming up that switchback. Okay, we'll chat later. Quite amazing. It's amazing how technology has advanced. Quite incredible. $18.80 to today, massive difference. Here's Ernie, coal miner. Say g'day to Ernie. G'day Ernie. How are you, man? Rightio, that's about it for the minute. Okay, so here I am at home. This is take two, by the way. Had me glasses on, and when I played it back, all I had was these big reflections in my eyes. Got to be able to see my eyes, gorgeous brown eyes. That's a joke, by the way. If you haven't got a sense of humour, there's a bridge coming up, you can jump off. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, I did a couple of weeks of work in Perth, picked up the, finished that, chucked the bike and everything in the car, came home, cleaned myself up, as you can see. Looking pretty fab, I must say. Pretty impressed by the whole thing, the clean up I mean, not the work. And now I'm off to do another couple of weeks work east of here, and I'll come back home, and when I get home I'll finish the editing on the videos. Out of interest's sake, there's taken me about 120 hours I've sunk into the editing of these videos, and really it's only for a personal record, but that's what it started out as. And then I thought, oh, I'll stick them up on the web and bore the shit out of some people with them, especially you know, nearly 15 minutes for 7 episodes. That'll get some people wound up, won't it? Those with ADD. Put the head in the saucepan and bash it as hard as I can. So, did I enjoy it? Yeah, I had a ball. Had a great time. Anthony had a good time. We both had a good laugh. It was hard work. We travel at different speeds. He has real issues with his knees, so he struggles when he stops. So he didn't like to stop too much. I struggle when I go, so I didn't like to go too much. What else? But we made it work, and it was great at the end of the day being at the huts and having company. I enjoyed that. I'm pretty sure Anthony enjoyed that as well. The correct answer for that for him to say is yes, of course. He could be in the shit if he doesn't. And what else? He really enjoyed the ride. He finished from Collie up to Perth, and that went really well. He then caught the plane back home to the Goldie, and I think that he'd really like to do another one. I don't know if he'd like to do the Munda Biddi, but yeah, maybe the trail in South Aussie, whose name has just escaped me. Can't remember what it is. The Big Fat Dummy, how did it go? It went really well. I was really pleased with it. The Schwalbe Jumbo Jims, which are the later variant, so the rolling resistance is very low. The wear is really good, they do really well. I have very little trouble with my tyres. Anthony, of course, as you'll know from watching the videos, struggled with his rear tyre. To be honest with you, I think it was a bit of a lemon, must have been made on a Friday, either that or on a Monday after a hard weekend. And what else? The Big Fat Dummy's heavy. You know, the whole thing weighed 75 kilos. Probably a bit of overkill. I carry a shitload of gear. But I did it to see if the bike could do it, and it did. The bike handled it well. I did have concerns about the chain in granny gear when I was in the steep country, but it went all right. You'd ride it accordingly and push when you have to. You know, the bike weighs 31 kilos just by itself, so I was carrying another sort of, 35 or 40 kilos of gear on it. And then, of course, my great fat bum, I weigh tad under 100 kg. And the one thing I will do, because of its configuration, I really do like its configuration, gives me not limitless opportunities to carry gear, but certainly a lot of opportunities. I'll take the Bosch CX motor off of a recent Muller bike that I have. I took it to Tassie and rode it around Tassie and grenaded the new Vinci 380 hub on it. The hub couldn't handle the load and the hill climbs over there, and I just grenaded the guts of it. So I'll take that CX drive off and carve up the Big Fat Dummy frame, make up a cradle and fit it to that, and I will put a roll-off hub on it because I'm just not a cluster rider. I can't. I've ridden roll-offs for too many years and nearly 60,000, 70,000 kilometres now, so I just can't get used to the fact that you've got to change down before you stop. You can't change under load. You just, especially when you're carrying the weight that I carry. So I will change the rear hub setup, from a cluster to a roll-off when and if funds permit, which they will. I'll get a job and make sure they do. Would I do it again? Sure would, not a problem. Enjoyed the ride down. What other pearls of wisdom have I got? Clean your teeth, save money on a dentist. Eat an apple a day, keeps the doctor away. There you go, my pearls of wisdom. Oh, I know, don't get a job. It interferes with life. You can't go push bike riding, sea kayaking, hiking. Yeah, it's a drag. So rob a bank, go on holiday. Stay one step ahead of the cops, out of jail. Have a good life. Okay, catch you on the trail. See ya.